Hello, Amanda Walsh here. Today I'm going to train you on using a web accessibility browser extension from Deque called Axe. Web accessibility means that websites, tools, and technologies are designed and developed so that people with disabilities can use them. More specifically, people can perceive, understand, navigate, and interact with the web. Perceivable, users must be able to perceive the information being presented. Operable, the interface cannot require interaction that a user cannot perform. Understandable, content and operation cannot be beyond user understanding. And robust, users must be able to access the content as technology advances. Why is this important? When websites and web tools are properly designed and coded, people with disability can use them. However, currently many sites and tools are developed with accessibility barriers that make them difficult or impossible for some people to use. Accessibility is an important part of the designing your website and should be considered throughout the development process. Section 508 is a governing principle, and it requires that all government information be accessible to disabled users. The World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, Web Accessibility Initiative brings together people from industry, disability organizations, government, and research labs from around the world to develop guidelines and resources to help make the web accessible to people with auditory, cognitive, neurological, physical, speech, and visual disabilities. The current web content accessibility guidelines is WCAG 2.1 and can be found on w3.org's website. These guidelines list out all the criteria for making your site accessible. Deque's Axe Web Accessibility Checker is a free Chrome or Firefox extension that runs automatic testing. The Axe browser speeds up and simplifies web accessibility testing. It's easy to download and install. Go to deque.com, that's deque.com, select Axe Tools Overview, and then select to install the free Chrome extension. This takes you to the Chrome Web Store where you can choose to add to your extensions. And now that the Axe extension is installed, I will open the csun.edu website and run an accessibility scan. On a Windows scan, press Control-Shift-I, or a Mac, press Option, Command, and I, or you can open the developer tools by selecting the ellipse icon in the upper right-hand corner and selecting More Tools, Developer Tools, and then the Axe extension. Now you can run an automatic scan of the website. Now let's focus on what to do if you find accessibility issues. The issue list and issue description issues found by the automatic test are shown in the issue list. You can filter these by type. The most important type to begin with is issues listed as violations. Violations must be fixed in order to comply with the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines at level AA, which is the industry standard, and which is referenced by many laws throughout the world. The issues list shows each type of violation with the total number of occurrences of each type. There are multiple instances of the same type of issues. You can navigate through each one using the previous or the next button. The issue description pane itself provides more information about the issue. It provides a brief explanation of the issue and tells you the impact level for people with disabilities. It shows you a code or a snippet of the issue and a CSS selector of the issue location. To see the issue in context of the page markup, you can select Expect Node, or to visually inspect the issue in the context of the rendered page. The last section of the issue description pane provides basic information on how to fix the error. If you need more information about the issue, use the More Info link, which takes you to a more in-depth explanation on the DQ University website of why the issue matters and how to fix it. Items that are need review and items marked as need review in the issue list are suspicious and may be accessibility violations, but a knowledgeable human tester must take a closer look and decide if they are true violations or not. An example of an issue that may need review is color contrast of text against the background. Web designs can be complicated with various overlapping layers and even multiple colors of various levels of contrast in the same background image or gradient, making it difficult for automatic tools to always determine correctly whether a given color combination has significant color contrast or not. These types of tests need to be done manually by a human tester. Another thing to know is testing all relevant states of a page. One of the most important things to know about how these automatic tests work is that they test the current state of the web page, only the current state. If there are features like drop-down menus, pop-up content, expand and collapse regions, modal dialogues, or forms with possible error messages or success messages, or any other kind of dynamic content, you would need to check each state of the page to ensure accuracy. I'll show you an example of this by selecting academic calendars and then analyzing the page to see the results, getting 75. Then I'm going to expand the past academic calendars. And then here we want to run the test again. And now I'm showing 76 issues after I expanded this past academic calendars. So you can see what I mean by, this is the one page running a test. And then when you do something by collapsing or selecting a radio button, you want to run again to make sure that none of those are showing up any kind of issues. And so one last thing is the best practices. If you have any issues listed in best practices, web accessibility experts generally recommend fixing these issues because they can represent real challenges for people with disabilities. But these fixes are not technically required at a level AA of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, so they represent lower legal liability. I use this extension on the regular to test out our programs at work. It is a very helpful tool to find issues and how to remediate the issues. I love the more info section that links to DQ's university website where I can learn more about the issue. DQ also has an Axe Expert and other development tools that are for purchase that I also use at my organization. I hope that you found this tutorial useful and helpful, and thank you.